Good evening. It's a lovely Thursday, and we are back right here on Ubuntu channel with NSAKA, a program where we discuss different social issues, especially issues that deal with marriage, relationships, and love. Do make it a point to share this broadcast with someone. Please just click even in the share icon there so that you are able to invite someone, tag someone along, and we need you to comment. We need you to just interact with us so that we are able to educate one another. Remember, this is Ubuntu channel, and we want to bring back Ubuntu and morality into our society. Tonight, we are looking at financial pitfalls in marriage, and I am joined by Himba Malambo, who will be assisting in co-hosting this program and with the discussions. Himba, good evening, and welcome to 2024. Welcome to Ubuntu channel.
Thank you so much, CJ. Good evening, viewers. It is nice to be with you once again. It has been long when we last interacted on this platform. And before I go any further, allow me also, CJ, to say condolences to the family of those who've lost their beloved one through the cholera pandemic, which the country is going through. We're just saying, as Ubuntu channel, we are mourning with them. However, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. It's nice to be with you once again.
Thank you, Himba. A pleasure to have you. And as usual, we have our powerhouse of wisdom, no other than Evangelist Herbert Shaabula. Evangelist, welcome to 2024. Welcome to NSAKA on Ubuntu channel. Good evening.
Good evening, CJ, Himba, good evening, and everyone else. It's great to see the year 2024 because many of our brothers and sisters failed to reach here. So we are privileged, and God has a purpose for us to be here. So it is important for us to meet the aspirations of God's purpose for us to be in 2024. Especially one of them actually is to educate the world. So what we are doing here is a humble responsibility which we need to be concerned of seriously. That's why we try by all means not to miss it, because this is God's assignment, and we are just ponies in this work. We are ready to be used, and we are happy that He has chosen us. We are not the best, we are not even the best examples, we are not even the best speakers, and not the best men and women, but it is a privilege to serve the Lord in this manner. Thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you very much, Evangelist. I can see there's a PK in the background. Please, PK, just put in your full names, or in the just in the comments there, put in your full names, and we'll be adding you as we'll be going on with the program. Viewers, once again, this program is meant for you to interact with us. It is meant so that we are able to teach one another. Just like Evangelist has said, we are not perfect, but together we are able to educate, we are able to help each and everyone who participates on this program. We are joined by Wom Kelewai. Wom Kelewai, welcome to 2024, and welcome to NSAKA on Ubuntu channel. Good evening.
Oh, good evening, CJ. Good evening, Shaabula, Reverend Shaabula. I hope you are not going to trend. I hope you are not going to trend like TB Joshua in his grave.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Imba. Sweetheart, how are you?
I'm fine, sweetheart. Sweetheart, stop daring.
It's good to see you guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, sweetheart.
Happy New Year too.
Great to have you. Now, tonight we are looking at financial pitfalls in marriage. finances are a big deal in relationships, in marriage. And to get the ball rolling, Evangelist, when we are talking about finances in a marriage or in a relationship, what are we talking about?
Thank you, CJ. Thank you. Tonight we have a very important topic to look at, and I would like to ask all those that have tuned in to listen in with their hearts, and to make contributions. This is a field where each one of us is not an expert. It is all of us who make mistakes, who need to listen to this. Probably we can improve a bit. Now, when we talk about pitfalls in handling these finances in a marriage, I thought I should extend it a bit from marriage to families, so that sometimes we may not be married. You might be a widow or a widower, a single person or a married person, but you are not sure how you handle your money. So what I thought is that we can use this opportunity to teach each family member in the family. Now, here we are talking about the mistakes which family members make, or financial mistakes which families make. These are pitfalls. These are traps. These are accidents. These are mistakes which we make when we handle money, or when money is in our custody. The question is, what we must understand is that money does not come easily, and money is not common everywhere and anywhere. And so money must be guarded jealously. Today, CJ, it is teaching. I'm going to be as slow as possible in order to drive the points home.
Great.
The issue here is that money is actually a problem in handling it. It is sweet. It does not come into the hands easily, but it leaves the hands easily and quickly. Before you realize, you have no money in your hands. Now, what are these financial mistakes that we make? Financial mistakes that we make are mistakes which cause us to find ourselves without money, or to have not to have enough money for our spendings. Most people spend money without financial plan. Many earn good money, but fail to make a proper saving. Some people, they may have a lot of money, but they fail to make proper savings. They can't save, and yet they make a lot of money. Some carry excess money or too much cash with them without proper purpose. You want to go shopping, what you need is 500 kwacha, but you pick 1,000 kwacha with you to go and buy items for 500 kwacha. In the process, you spend even the extra 500 kwacha which you put to that 500 kwacha. In other words, you have doubled your spendings when you should have paid once. The other pitfall or mistake is that other people borrow money without intentions to pay back. We want to borrow money, but we don't intend to pay back. CJ, imwe banyamata imwe you young people, you come no bashaba nipase niko drama nakupasa chi 10,000 kwacha. You have no plan of how you are going to pay back. When I come to ask you, hi, CJ, how is it? You even stop picking. In the end, you even change the phone number. So you borrow without intentions to pay back. The other issue that we need to look at is most families or marriages lack contingent funds in their home. They lack. There's no fund for emergencies. When I say contingent funds, I'm talking about money meant to meet emergencies. Money meant for rain day. We don't prepare for the rain day, though we know that the rain day will always come. Sometimes it comes in double, but we don't prepare for that. That is a mistake. The other issue that we need to understand is that others just fail to review their monthly expenses. You don't review your monthly expenses to see your spendings. That is a mistake. The other one is increasing your expenses, but not your income. You are increasing your expenses. Vogula vapaka, but ndrama yamenengena mu pocket yako ya chepa. What do you do? And this is common, especially kuma guys, monga vene CJ wamenabo. Today CJ are in troubles. You na uchite uyo mulozi muzako uyo mbuye wako uyo. Wamene uyo mukelebai. Waenda bagula chape, no, I want this, I want this, I want this. He's getting more and more, but he's not increasing his income. The question is, where is he going to get the money from to meet the things that he wants? Some do not even know what is enough. And many they forget the source of their money. They don't know what is enough. Do they have enough? Especially the losses, they don't know these things. Saziva, what is the source of your money? Is it enough? What is enough, by the way? To avoid falling in the trap of financial mistakes, I'm going to give you 10 points. Nayamba. Number one, mistake number one, spending without a plan. Now, a financial plan must be documented or written. You must write down what you want to buy. We call this a budget. Make a budget. Out of the budget, you also make a shopping list, but make a budget. You must be willing to follow your financial plan. CJ, follow your financial plan. It does not help to have a plan and yet fail to honor the plan. A lot of people back up, no, I'm making a budget, but the question is, do you stick to the budget? Or when you go in the shop, then your eyes begins running up and down. You find that your friend who is behind you, his trolley yake azula full, maybe is pushing 2 trolleys. Your budget yako ikambati ni 600 kwacha. Twako vinka chabe mka plastic bag twakwana paja. But because waona you are sandwiched between 2 people, bamwe na matrolleys. Now you at no bazazi wa branch. So what did you do? You also now start picking. You pick that, you pick that. Instead, wamba kupikira na diapers and yet ulibe bana kunyumba. Upeya chite trolley azura diapers. And you have no children at home. What do you want to do? You want to impress your friends. So you must know, you must have a plan. Because the plan will help you stick to it and be able to get things that are important to you and for your family, and be able to spend reasonably low. So that is required. The financial plan is what you call the budget. So make a budget, write it down, document it, see where that money will also come from. Number two mistake which we make, earning a salary but not saving. Earning a salary but you're not saving. What do I mean? You at month end, you get your pay package. If it is the 10,000 kwacha, you get your 10,000 kwacha. After you've received that 10,000 kwacha, you now go into the shop and begin spending it. Out of this spending, you do not leave a bit of money in the bank. You need to save. Why should we save? Because the problems or difficulties, sicknesses, death, cases, whatever expenses, they come without knocking on your door. You are saving for the rain day. You are saving for the D-Day. You are saving for the time when you'll be sick, when you'll not be able to work, and that money should be able to help you. So as you earn your salary, ensure that you save some money each month. No matter how little it is, over a period of time, it will be okay. It will be enough. The mistake number three, trying to get rich fast. In families, especially the young people, CJ, the young people, they always want to outshine their neighbors, their workmates, their friends, their former schoolmates by trying to get rich quickly. Now, looking at the Bible, Proverbs chapter 20, verse 21, says an inheritance quickly gained at the beginning will not be blessed at the end. An inheritance quickly gained at the beginning will not be blessed at the end. Through all these ages, whatever you do, if you try to get rich quickly, you will not be blessed because you are taking shortcut. And this will cause you to either get wealthy through witchcraft, through ritualisms, through charms, through thefts, through crooked ways, or through other dirty ways of getting rich. And therefore, in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 6 to 10, the Bible talks about contentment. Be happy with what you have. Now, I want to say this. Because of this, you end in serious borrowing, in serious troubles because of your actions. Now, mistake number 4, carrying excess cash without purpose. If you go shopping, as I said earlier on, and you carry more than the money that you intend to use on that day, you must know that you are going to use double of your money, meaning that you are going to get into the future and begin to live into it today. And then tomorrow you will not have anything for your future. So do not carry excess money. And do not give money anyhow. Mukerebai. Don't just give you munzanga tinai school wamupasa chabe drama. It's not even indicated per budget yako that you are Father Christmas. You are just giving anyhow. At me, I'm kind. No. Yes, be kind, but control your kindness. You end in a ditch. The mistake number 5, borrowing but not paying back. I said this. Now, borrowing and not paying back is actually theft by servant, theft by agent, ni ukuruku. If you know you are not able to pay back, don't borrow. If you are going to borrow, borrow what you are able to pay back. Or else, what you must know that is that borrowing, especially most homes, they overborrow. And most homes are overwhelmed with the debts. Why? Because of borrowing too much. Some individuals, they swim in serious debts from year to year. From year number 1 to year number 2. From last year in Congress, the last year, by the transfer in 2024, and they are going to borrow again. And they keep on borrowing. Some have died in the graves while owing some money to others. Can you imagine you go to the grave na Nkongole zabantu? Somebody will tell you, don't bury this one. You are going to be embarrassed because you will not be buried. People will come there asking for their money. Beno haka mbati no nzampoka. Bazakupoka chani. Bazakupoka coffin yako. No, somebody will come, no, me, I'm getting the coffin. Muchosi yenu, nizagulisa coffin. So you are going to be buried muchani, muka t-shirt, kole mbewa, John was here. The issue here is that let's be careful. Debts bring about panic. Debts bring about despair. Debts do not give peace of mind. Debts disturb family plans. And debts ultimately do not give the confidence to face the future. Now, debts, I'm talking about debts, not debts. Debts, Nkongole, they stress. You live a stressful life. Some borrow and they cannot even pay. Now, what are you supposed to do? There are certain times when some will borrow in order to go and pay a debt. If you are borrowing to go and pay a debt, you are actually running in circles. CJ, you are running in circles. It's like you have got fire on the left, in the left hand, but you get that coal and you put it in the right hand, but having the same body. Yeah. So you are not doing anything. So develop a plan to pay back what you owe. If you owe somebody or you've got debts, sit down and develop a plan to pay back. Now, in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7, Proverbs 22, verse 7, the Bible says, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is a servant of the lender. Now, when you borrow, you put yourself in the yoke. You are a servant of the person you owe. Mukerebai. Uko kwa mimi mukala kumalanda ni kubuzunguku. Everything ni mulemba chabe. No apa bakupasa ka Nkongole. Motoka ni Nkongole. Stove ni Nkongole. Bedi na Nkongole. Na mkazi ukalibe kumulipilira naye ni Nkongole. Iwe. Mukerebai, stop that. And in Romans 13 verse 8, Mukerebai. Romans 13 verse 8, Mukerebai. The Bible says, owe no man anything. Owe no man anything except to love them. Love them only, but don't owe them money. If you are in debt, you live a stressful life. Mistake number 6, lack of contingent fund. Sometimes chiriro chizaka bwera chaba tu amai bako bamwalira banaye kubwera tu batandale kuliwe, then she's involved in accident kwankala chiriro uzaba shika bwanji uzaba diesa bwanji bantu coffin zacho kakuti. It's an embarrassment expecting the church to begin contributing and feed the people and buy a coffin for your mother. But usebenza okulanda niwe chite iwe muloziwe. So these things are not good. Life is full of surprises. I'm telling you, these things, they happen. Contingent funds will bail you out of unforeseen circumstances. So ensure that you do something to actually clean up your life. Mistake number 7, lack of financial reviews. Ngati mulisebenzesa drama, you must review. You must review your expenditure on a monthly basis, especially at the end of each month. Kuyangana drama how you are spending. Track where you're spending, where you spend your money mostly. And then from there, after you've identified this place where you are throwing that money, cut down on your expenses. In other words, make adjustments, especially your lifestyle. In most cases, our lifestyles is the one which drains a lot of our money. Change your lifestyle. Mukerebai. Not that no nikaenda ku Zambia bakaziba ati nili so. Nakuno nako tigula masuti, tikudya ma apples, na ma chocolate aliko kuno. We've got all these things that you have there. Kulibe zakututizimia, just cut down on your spendings, especially your lifestyle. Mistake number 8, or pitfall number 8, increasing expenses instead of income. Sometimes we want to increase expenses. Income, we don't. What does that mean? What it means is that, you are buying more and more things, but you have got less money that is coming into your coffers. Drama za meno pesa nizingonu, but vameno funa kugula ni vambiri. We should not go into that. Your marriage will be stressed. Ngati wankana nkongole maningi like this. Even when you are in your bed with your husband or your wife, if you are a husband, you even fail to function. Because ukaganiza chabati nkongole, mailo babu ila nkongole, whatever it is. Uzaona chabati something, whatever was happening, your erection will just go down. It will collapse. Boom. Disappointment. Then your wife will ask you, what's happening? No, nakolewa. But in the deacon, tunakolewa na ukolewa. You are a deacon. No, ninkongole za kuvuta. So be careful with what you are doing. If your needs are increasing, you ought also to increase your income. As short as that, or as sure as that. If your income, your demands, your expenses increase, your income should also increase. It must go hand in hand. Ngati vamenofuna kugula ni vambiri, wena kupeza na drama za bwanji zambiri. If your liabilities increase also your asset base. As simple as that. If your family is growing, it is also automatic that your needs will increase. More children will need more money. So increase on money so that you can have no children. Also ati kubala chabe ulina appetite chabe wamba kubala monga ni sanya, monga ni cockroaches. Bana, you are just producing, without looking at your income. Bana wazavutika. So let's be very careful. Number 9, not knowing what is enough. Some people, they don't know what is enough. All over Nkale na Zambia in drama. They've got enough money, they've got enough assets. Them is not enough. One thing that leads people into financial family debts or problems is the lack of contentment. Contentment means kukutira kuti chameni nacho, I think this is enough. You must know when to say it is enough. Because if you don't do that, this will lead you to envy, it will lead you to jealous, it will lead you to even murder. Wamba kupaya bantu ufunozitenga drama. Be satisfied with what you have. And finally, on this one, the 10th mistake, forgetting the source. We forget the source. What do I mean? Drama zako zinachoka kuti. Pamvu zako zinachoka kuti. Nindano mena kupasa moyo. ndame nakupasa business, ndame nakupasa nchito. Banzako bambiri sibasebenza, banzako balibe ma business, ni ndame nakupasa. So the prosperity of man's labor hinges on God. God should be first in our financial management. It is God who gives us all our means. In Deuteronomy 8, verse 18, Deuteronomy 8, verse 18, the Bible says, remember God, for it is him who gives us the power to be rich or to have money and wealth. So we should remember him. As we give other people, as we enjoy ourselves, let us also ensure that we are supporting God's work and God's people. Thank you so much. I now invite questions and contributions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Evangelist, for that great teaching that we've had. Viewers, the link will be shared shortly, so ensure to click on the link, join in the studio. There's a number that is scrolling there that you can call or send a WhatsApp message to. We'll be able to patch you through the studio and we can interact together. Just use the number that is scrolling down there. Himba, I'll start with you, Himba. What are your submissions on tonight's topic and what Evangelist has delivered so far?
I would also want Evangelist to probably also clarify or make it clear who is supposed to make a budget in the house. Is it the mother-in-law? Is it the sisters-in-law? Budget, or maybe I should go and make my budget with my mother, or my husband should go and make his budget with his mother. So who is supposed to make the budget for this family?
Thank you so much. That's a very wonderful question. First of all, the people that are supposed to make a budget is the husband and the wife. Husband and the wife, putting into consideration the needs of their children. They can also include their parents. For example, their parents need fertilizer. They can say so much will go to our parents. But it's not the parents that are going to make the budget. The people that are going to make the budget are two people, husband and wife. I didn't say husband only. I didn't say wife only. I say husband and wife. And just in addition to that, before I forget one point, you know, we have a problem where some people these days, our educated friends, especially here in Zambia, I don't know out there in England, you know, Himba. Here, our ladies, some ladies, not all ladies, some ladies say, my money, and then our money. My money, our money. The money that is made by, that is created by the wife, it is her money. The money that is created by the husband, it is our money. That is a wrong conception. It's a wrong position. It's a wrong attitude, and it's a wrong formula in a marriage. You cannot only meet on your husband's money. It means that you are an amphibian. You are a parasite. So that should not be the case. In short, the husband and the wife, they will sit down to write a budget. First of all, they look at, they will write, they will, number one on top there, they will talk about God's needs. What are God's needs? Tithes and offerings, and maybe the need. Then you look at now a rented house. You have a rented house, you have got electricity to pay, you need food, you need to pay school fees, you need to save so much money, should go into the bank account, and all sorts of things. Then from there, that's when you can say, what about the parents? We need fertilizer, they need this and this. Or maybe other need people, they need so much. So it is supposed to be done by two people. In short, husband and wife, taking into consideration the needs of their children.
Thank you very much, Evangelist. Wom Kedeba, your submission so far.
Well, Mr. Reverend has spoken a lot. I mean, what Evangelist story? I thought he was a prophet. He was a Reverend has spoken a lot, and you know, we differ in handling finances, but it is important as a couple to be disciplined in terms of expenditures. Yes, there's need for a mutual agreement with your partner or significant other, and agree on how to spend your monies as a couple, and you calculate to see how much are your expenses in a month, monthly, and then you look at your incomes, and then you create we call it a common account, where you, both a husband and the wife, if you are both working, you drop in the amount, the specific amount that you've agreed upon, to mitigate those those expenditures. That is how a couple needs to be disciplined with their finances. And then there will be surpluses. That surplus should remain in your individual or private account, that in case of eventualities you can go there. If a couple gets about 10,000 kwacha, for example, or your husband gets 10,000 and the wife gets 8,000, because we have seen that most couples, the salaries fluctuate, or it's the other way around. They need to sit down and calculate and see how much each part should bring in to fix the bills. Those are monthly bills. And then the remaining, you keep it in your private account. So in a home, you are allowed to have 3 accounts: one for yourself as a husband, and the one we call it your common account, and then the other one for the wife. And then you can also create another account where you can be putting in money for activities. Let's say you want to go on holidays, you have some eventualities, you have funerals, those things that you cannot plan, you don't know, they come as a surprise, but you can put at least some money aside. That way, it's a very wonderful way of being financially disciplined in a matrimonial home. Now, the problem always happens when there is only one salary in a home, that the husband is working, or it's the wife that is working. The other part feels that they are contributing nothing, and the other one is busy busting their butt off to bring some income in the home. That also needs to be, they need to sit down and discuss the housework that the wife she's doing at home, looking after the the children and taking care of the house, cleaning and other things. It's as equal as to contributing an equal distribution, an equal share. And that's why we advise couples, even when you are both working, there's nothing like abantu mamuna banga vaine konkala chabe ngati vachoka kunchito vankala mumpando na newspaper then eve mukazi na eve achoka kunchito then eve ndiye anyamuka aenda msikitchen ankala mbopika. Instead of you as a team together, you help one another, you cook, you clean the house. That is, if you can afford, you can bring in some maids. But isamaetinkala mumanyumba kuno kuma diaspora, for you to be able to employ a maid, then you are going to pay. You are not supposed to pay that maid less than a minimum. There is the maids here. They get a salary almost of a Zambian doctor. Can you manage yourselves to pay such people? So we don't even do that fancy life that you guys have in Zambia, where you have a garden boy, you have 2 maids, that is a luxurious life. And you have babysitters. That's your luxurious life. Us here, we take care of our own children. We drive them to school. We pick them from school or kindergarten. And we do all activities. They follow them up for their sports activities. And we don't even have time to go and sit in a bar and start drinking because you have to drive. You can't drive while it's under the influence. You'll be penalized and the penalty will be too much. So we have to be responsible in everything you do. You need to share responsibility. This issue of no mamuna ndiye ali na mpamvu ndiye the head of the house. Yes, keep that in your mind and ichinkalechamu mutima. But when it comes to action, you have to be on the same level, doing all the house chores together as a team. Or you go to my garden, you do that, you plant some flowers together, you go out and drink together, you go out and have fun together. There's nothing like, oh, just men or just women. Of course, sometimes you need time to give your wife gifts, and your wife also supposed to give you, a husband, some gifts where you can go and have fun with your girlfriends, and you men, you go and have fun with your men friend. But remember to always keep within your means.
Thank you very much, Mkelebai. I would like to bring back Evangelist. Now, Evangelist, I would say the usual teaching that is given when a couple is getting married is that husband and wife, a couple should be putting their monies together and do their budgeting and whatever. But from a number of people that I've interacted with and certain comments that I've been seeing on social media, it seems this is theory and not practical. Okay, now especially when there is suspicion of infidelity. I've heard when I'm saying just like you had said, the money that the husband makes ndiye yochita vintu vapa nyumba because he's the head, let him sponsor everything. And the woman says nezeneni panga nizanga. And then in cases where there's suspicion of infidelity, others say ndarama tizifaka ndarama pamoja, then azipeleka whether nkumahule or kumoba and whatever. How do you handle such conflicts when it comes to finances in a home?
Thank you, CJ. In fact, a gentleman and a lady putting their money together is the beginning of unity and love and respect and responsibility in their marriage and in their home. Just the decision for them to do that is the beginning of a happy marriage. But now, that requires discipline. When you do that, you need to be disciplined. One, you cannot withdraw money without your colleague knowing what is happening. You have to inform your friend that you need so much money because you have a financial plan you have planned. You need so much money. Or if it is not on the plan, it has just come as a contingent. What you're supposed to do is that you need to notify your friend. When your friend is involved, then you make a decision together. When you make a decision, we are going to withdraw so much money from this account for this purpose. And then what will remain is so much, which will take us for this period until the next time when we shall have money. Now, what brings in suspicion, doubt, and failing to run a joint account is mistrust, infidelity, wanting to do things behind the back of your friend. Now, when you do that, your friend will think twice whether to continue with you or not. So in other words, this is a problem that we have created ourselves by not being honest. So actually putting money together and running a joint account is the beginning of peace in the home, is the beginning of love, is the beginning of unity in your marriage. But you need both of you to be disciplined in order to run a joint account. When you run a joint account successfully, it brings peace in the home, it brings prosperity in the home, it brings unity in the home.
Right. Now, just a rider on that same question. How do you handle a situation where you've been putting money together and then one partner decides to or starts changing the amount that they've been contributing, bamboleta ma expense nanguno kapena bamai and whatever, then darama zenu start contribute zamba kuchepa? How do you handle that situation?
It is true, CJ. There are people that are dishonest. They start very well, but they want to end badly by keeping on changing their finances or their financial position. They will say, no, in an phone, kutoka kuli bamai bambuye bao, bamai bao, or banko banga, banamwalira, or badwala, so I need to send money there. No, it must be discussed and agreed upon by the two of you. And then know when to send money and how much money you need to send and how much money will remain in your coffers so that you are able to run your home successfully without problems. Now, if you do, you behave that way, then you are creating a storm in your marriage, a problem in your marriage. So it is important to discuss anything that is likely to bring problems in your marriage. Discuss it. If you want monies or anything that has got to do money, it must be discussed by the two of you and agreed upon by the two of you, or disagree between the two of you. And when you disagree, that does not mean that you don't love each other. No, it means maybe the plan that you have brought now, it is not for immediate attention. It can wait until when you have money. It's not that anything that you ask for as a wife, the gentleman must do, or the wife asking, the gentleman asking, then the wife must do. No, certain things, they can be brought there. You find that your friend punches holes into it. I should explain, no, this thing can wait because of A, B, C, D. Now, if you are very reasonable, a reasonable person, you agree with him or with her that I think this thing can wait. Because there are certain times when we want to rush a program, which actually has got the potential to wait, and nothing will go wrong. Nobody will die. You know? So, nikugwira mutima, tieti mange nyumba yatu. Batati wako na amai wako banamanga yao. Tieti mange naife banja yatu tilina bana muno munyumba. Baka fanjala oka kuskulu sibaza kaenda kuli bamai wako or kuli batati wako to go and ask for money. Bana bazaka bazatibelani ku makolo wanu kwati sibasebenza. That is an embarrassment. So all the time try by all means to be peaceable in the family. Kalani mkatika nyumba na muzimu jaoleta chite lumu no mkatika nganda. Yo tuliyose mulakwela na kwa mwana mbuti mbukiti amubwa. Ibalwana. No, don't fight in your home. Discuss issues and agree the way forward.
Thank you, Evangelist. Himba, do you agree that couples should be putting monies together?
Not at all.
I knew it. Please go ahead.
Not at all. My problems. For me, I think I would go with Vom Keleba's route, where you've got at least 3 accounts in the house, and you've before I even go any further, I believe, or I think it just brings problems and issues, because issues of monies are very sensitive in a home, very, very sensitive. And if there's any problem if there's anything that brings problems in the house, it's money. And if it takes matured couples and people understand each other very well to handle this issue. Now, if you're talking about having accounts, a joint account, it depends on the couple and it depends on the circumstance you're in. There are people who the other one works, the other one doesn't work. Even if we say this woman stays home, she looks after the children, she does all the house chores, but as long as she doesn't bring in the financial thing in the account, it will still bring issues. Very few men will accept and say, okay, in the account mwanga, if the woman says, my mother wants this, tieti chose, my mother, very few people, they are there, but ni wangono. But it's even a joint account, it only works well when both are working. But I would rather we have one joint account where, as Mom Keleva said, we agree how much are we going to be bringing every month. Then I've got my own personal account, and he also has his own personal account, such that zijazeta vomelezana tizambweka main account itaika na budget yetapanga pamoja. We sit together, we agree on the budget, tavomelezana, this is how much we are going to spend, this is how we are going to go. Fine. Zasala muzili mu account mwanga nizanga. Na zao na bebe zasala mu account mwao ni zao. What he does with that money in the account, it does nothing to do with me. And what I do with the money that remains in my account, it has nothing to do with him. Because tingapanga tutikazi kama salaries pamoja mu joint account taika na wewe waika ndrama zao account na wena ngwaika. We've had situations where other partners, they've run away na salary ya mzaki. When I'm going to end our work, access to this salary, so basically, for me, I think this idea is acting drama is zao. It's our manners. I think Evangelist, me, I don't agree with that concept. I think maybe it used to work in the past, because even some women, they've ended up being vulnerable because of this. There's somebody in most couples who becomes dominant over that money, and I think for me, it's a no.
Okay. CJ?
Yes, Evangelist, go ahead.
Yes. Himba must be speaking from some experience. She must be speaking from some experience. And I'm also speaking from my experience. So whilst I respect what she says, there is always a standard rule. Out of that standard rule, people can draw what they would want to do, which works for them. But the standard rule that we should take from this topic, from this lesson, is that it shows unity, love, respect, and trust when people work together. When you cannot do things together, especially in terms of money, it means there is a problem. There is mistrust. When you don't trust each other, of course, each one will say, no, I want to run my own account. I want to have my own money.
Evangelist,
the other issue also is sometimes also the background from which those two people are coming from. If one was taught to respect the marriage in that way, and that marriage has got rules, it has got regulations, it has got boundaries, then the two of you adhere to that. You respect that. But if people say, no, these are my rights, you bring human rights, no, because usebenza ndiname nisebenza, so izindrama zisebenza chifukwa mkazi wanga saenda ku office, it means sindrama zake. That is another teaching. But for this lesson, we are not teaching that way. We are teaching that be one because you are one. Do things together because you are one. Share monies together because you are one. Count your monies because you are one. Put all your monies and properties together because you are one family. You have got your children that depend on the two of you. A divided home cannot stand. So that's how it is. So those that run their accounts, their monies here and there, well, those are their experiences and we cannot oppose them. They know what they're talking about. But the general rule wherever you go is that, when a man and wife get married, they become one entity. And so they need to think together, putting their ideas together and work together, plan together. Whatever they do, it must be us, we, not me and I. No, not at all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Evangelist. Time is really running. Wom Kedabai, can I have your input on this particular issue of contention just in 2 minutes, please?
Yes, thank you. I'm here, yes. I can hear. I'm listening. Yes, like I said, sometimes it is important also when a couple is dating in your early stages, it is imperative that these issues should be put on the table. You should explain what the other person, actually, that is where you're going to know and find out what kind of a wife or what kind of a husband you're going to get married to, or you're going to be married to. So it is during that time when you are courting, you get to know each other, you talk about your income. And the other issue is if you are already, some of the people, they are already financially okay, that they have a lot of money, and then they are bringing in a partner that are about to marry, and then there's an issue of prenuptial agreements. This is where people should sit down and go to a lawyer and make an agreement to say, look, as you are coming in, you just found me in this relationship. This is how much I have. And this is what I have. And this money that I have is not going to be considered as a community that we can share in terms of, this is the money that you cannot claim tomorrow that because I'm your spouse, then I'm entitled to this money. You can't do that. Or the properties. So, and the properties that you're going to acquire whilst living together, the monies that you're going to have, the income that's going to come in whilst living together or being a couple as a husband and wife, that is what you're going to treat as a community properties that you're going to share in terms of death or in terms of divorce or separation. So it is important that you sit down and discuss those issues with a lawyer, especially those who are rich. I'm a musician, this is where you're supposed to sit down, and before you even do anything, sit down and make some contract, prenuptial agreement. Prenuptial agreement simply means you are not getting, you are simply protecting what you have come with into your marriage. Even you women, you are getting married to a man when you have already a huge inheritance, for example, or you have properties that you have already, or you have a lot of money in your account, like Faith Musonda. So when you are getting married, you need to get an agreement to say, you don't need to marry someone who is a gold digger. And I'm just saying. I mean,
always controversial. All
anyway,
right.
That's my point of contribution.
Okay. Thank you, Mom Kelvai.
Prenuptial agreement.
Let me play this. Let me play this voice note before Evangelist comes in.
Any property for any married couple belongs to both man and woman, money inclusive. In a simple narration, we can say it is our money, just like the couple can say for some certain properties that it's our house, it's our car, and any other asset, as long as it's being held by the couple. So classifying money as for the wife or the husband is a serious error which should not be entertained.
Thank you. So we have that voice note there. Evangelist, your quick comment on that voice note.
Well, that voice note is talking about the general rule, which I've also ascribed here.
Yes.
When two people get married, I'm talking about the general rule. When people get married, they cease to be individuals. They become we, our. Now, when they use the we, our, they are saying, I have renounced the self. I'm no longer an individual. I don't belong to myself. Neither do I belong to my father and mother or to my family members. I don't belong there. I belong to this new person that I've tied my life to. And therefore, I stop ceasing as Shaabula. I've now co-opted the life of Mutinta, because Mutinta now no longer lives as Mutinta. She's now Shaabula. So the two shall be one. And when we are one, it means that we've got one heart, one head, two eyes. We don't have four eyes. It is 2 eyes and 2 hands and 2 legs. And we shall have one life to do. Our interest will be our happiness. We are going to be happy in this home. For us to be happy, we'll do ABCD. If God blesses us with children, then these will be our children. They will not be my children. They will be our children. And our children will live in our home, in our house. We shall do things for our family. So that is how it is. So it is. Also the places, also culture, CJ. Also culture plays a part sometimes in some of these things. In the African context, where we are here in Zambia, husband and wife are one person. And whatever they do, they're expected to do it together. What they have is theirs, both of them. But in some cultures, you can choose to do what you want with what belongs to you. You can either call yourself, I am such doctor, what and what. You will not use your father, your husband's name. You use your father's name, even when you are married. Those are those cultures. But here, once you are married, if my wife Mtinta is a doctor, she'll be Mrs. Mtinta, she'll be Dr. Mtinta Shaabula. That's what she'll be. She will not be Dr. Mtinta Rubobia. No, she's married to me, so she will use my name. So that is the standard teaching. And I'm asking, those that have listened to us to take this standard teaching. But if you choose to use your formula, no one will stop you. No one will stop you. If it works for you and both of you are happy, go ahead and use it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Evangelist. Director, I don't know if there's anyone in the background, if we still have a PK. I was hoping they would give us the full name instead of just the initials. Hello, good evening, PK. You are live and welcome to Ubuntu channel. Good evening, PK.
PK is muted.
Please unmute PK. We are winding up our program and would like to have input from you as well. Okay. We proceed. We're not able to get feedback there. Okay, so time has really gone and we need to wind up the program. Bom Kedeba, you have too much talk time. So please, I need you to be straight to the point in 1 minute. Himba, I also need you to be straight to the point in 1 minute. And then Evangelist, I'll give you 3 minutes to summarize and wrap up everything. So Bom Kedeba, I'm starting with you. 1 minute starting from now.
No, that's not fair. The man.
So you've already taken 10 seconds. Already
no,
10 seconds.
But you've given Boshabula, the whole program has been Boshabula, that's all. And then we're just coming in to step in just to give him some. And then you give him 3 minutes. And then anyway. Anyway, but the thing is, we have already spoken. We have already said our piece. We have said it that I think people know. It is just important that when you are a couple, you need to have to sit down and discuss, have an agreement. There's nothing like you are the only one that is bringing income, nyumba. Therefore, your wife has no say. That is also a red flag. The moment you do that, because you start entertaining other people who will be listening to her problems or listening to her budget problems. So if you don't want to involve your wife, just know that you are having a problem. Kaso kulemuleke kaso ngandio sevenza weka pa nyumba imbeuleta ndama pa nyumba. Please sit down na mkazi wako. Let your wife know how much money you are bringing in a home, what you are working for, and then mpange ma budget.
Thank you very much, Bom Kedeba.
Together.
Thank you. Himba, 1 minute starting from now.
Okay. Thank you so much, CJ. For me, I still think it depends on what you agree, the two of you, how you look at your financial position as a couple, and how you understand each other. I think I still strongly stand that you need to seriously agree. You may have one joint account where you do all your projects and everything. You're budgeting everything, this one project account, or even if it's a man who works, you can have in your account ya banja, then he needs to have something, because I don't want to ask my husband nanga lero mwachosa 10 kwacha mwapeleka kuti mwaende omwera. I mean, he should have a bit of liberty. And on the other hand, we've got couples that have died because muli ndrama zambiri mu account papa ya muzao kuti nsali nazo ndrama, you know, all that. And we've got people baendo shimikira na bantu tibali na ndrama za so benangu, you know, it depends how you know each other, but financially it depends how you're going to agree, how you're going to plan. If putting your finances together works for you, please go ahead. But I strongly feel there should be a bit of some independence, such that there are things that I would want to do, which may be there. I'm not supposed to go, and even a bit of money I have to, even when I'm working. Nichoseko ya bro penso, nichoseko ya tomato. No, that is a little bit hectic on my part. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you very much, Himba. Evangelist, please wrap up the program. And as you are wrapping up, please give advice to a spouse who is under pressure to take care of the whole household, and the partner has abandoned making a contribution. What advice would you give them? What should they do? How should they go about with this problem? Over to Evangelist.
I will start with the question of a person who abandons her or his responsibility. When such a thing happens, you must ask yourself, why has my friend abandoned this program? You could be the source of the problem yourself, who is actually helping. You could be the source of the problem. And so because your friend does not want to fight you, they think, you know, abandoning is better. So check yourself before you can begin checking on your friend or checking your friend. The other issue now, after you've found what the problem is, discuss it. Step number 2, discuss the problem. And then from there, the third step is now, after that, work on the problem. In other words, find a solution to the problem. Then number 4, act on that solution. And then from there, continue working on that. Then from there, decide never to go back to that mistake again. That way to help. Now, to avoid falling in the trap of financial mistakes or these pitfalls, we must do at least 10 things. 1, spending without a plan. Don't spend without a financial plan. And the financial plan must be documented or must be written. And then you stick to it. Number 2, mistake number 2, earning a salary but not saving. To avoid this, make sure that as you earn, no matter how much you earn, please save a bit of that money into the bank. Mistake number 3, trying to get rich fast. You know, you don't get rich fast because you will not have a foundation. You need to build a foundation for your wealth so that your money or your wealth is able to sit on that strong foundation. And the Bible in Proverbs 20 verse 21 says, an inheritance quickly gained at the beginning we will not be blessed at the end. So we need to be careful. Mistake number 4, carrying excess cash without purpose. You are going for shopping, you are taking too much money or extra money which you don't need. In the end, you are going to spend even that money which is not planned for. Remember that debts and all these things that we have create problems. Excess cash can bring a problem. Mistake number 5, borrowing but not paying back. If you know that you are not able to pay back, please don't borrow, because the debt that you get will need to be paid. You are expected to pay back. I know that some homes, they are overwhelmed with the debts. Some individuals are swimming in serious debts. And deaths bring about panic, they bring despair, they do not give peace of mind. They are stressful. You become stressful and you are always fighting and quarreling and even cheating. When people come here knocking, where is your father? You send kamwana kangono ubauza ati banaenda kuchiliro. Then naye mwana achoka panja ati oh badadi munyumba baniuza ati nimuuza ati banaenda kuchiliro. So you teach the child also how to lie, how to cheat. Now, also the Bible in Romans 13 verse 8 says, owe no one anything except to love them. So we are told not to owe anybody anything except to love them. Mistake number 6, lack of contingency fund. You know, in other words, a lot of us live in a home where we have no fund for emergencies. No emergencies. Or maltenda or anything you can run to. So let's run an emergency fund. Life is not the same. Each day it can change at any time. Mistake number 7, we lack financial reviews. You don't check what in drama zamenu nazo is where does it go most. Sometimes you end up petrol maningi, fuel. Ask yourself, pameni gula too much fuel, where do I go? And what do I do? What do I get out of these trips? If you see that they are not profitable, cut down on those trips. Trim. And also look at your lifestyle. Lifestyle. Sometimes you are spending too much on yourself. Reduce. The mistake number 8, increasing expenses instead of income. Sometimes my expenses, you want that, but in drama komeza chokera which can handle those things you don't have. So we need to be very careful. Check yourself. If your liabilities increase, also you need to increase your asset base. Mistake number 9, not knowing what is enough. All of them, you still feel it is not enough. I only have 15,000 kwacha. I wish I can have 20,000 kwacha. You get 20,000 kwacha. I wish it was 50,000 kwacha. No, man. Be content. So the last point, number 10, forgetting the source. You shall not forget God, that it is God who prospers us and gives us the power or the energy to get money and also to make wealth. So if we do this, dear friends, it will help us. And above all, let us ensure that we have got a joint account. We work together with our husbands, with our wives, so that both of us can draw money from that account. You don't just draw money on your own. At all time, you'll be discussing. We want this, we want this. If you're at work, you can call, even phone, my husband, is it okay? I can buy such a thing. You will say, okay, go ahead. He will not refuse you because you are being transparent. So you'll be able to do all these things. When there's peace, when there's money stability in terms of money in the home, even the marriage will be stable. A home that has got in Congole is stressful. It is difficulty. They live in despair. There are quarrels, there are fights, there are separations and divorces because of money. Money actually can either build your marriage or money can destroy your marriage depending on how you handle it. May God help us learn to handle money together peacefully and in love. God bless us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Evangelist. Thank you very much, Himba. Thank you very much, Bom Kelebai. Thank you, viewers, for being part of tonight's broadcast. I want to thank Wilson, Holiness, Caroline, Mr. Abia, Ruben, and each and everyone who has taken time to put in a comment and watch this program. If you have a situation that you need Evangelist and the panel here to be able to attend to, you can use the number that is scrolling on the screen just to send in that situation, and we'll be able to table it and anonymously be be able to help you without revealing who you really are. The number is 0972 959 608. 0972 959 608. That's the number that you can send your situation to. You can even send it via WhatsApp. If you need counseling, you need help, feel free to get in touch with Evangelist on 0975 on 0977, sorry, 527 407. 0977 527 407. That is Evangelist Shaabula's line. Please don't die inside osafera mukati. Problem is sharing any so that wakutandizeni. Without tandizo, ndiajama situation we find people are killing themselves or killing each other. Please, people are around to help, and we have Evangelist as a counselor to give you that much needed help. Well, tonight's program, we've been looking at financial pitfalls in marriage, and we are going to see if we can have a part 2 to this one, because I feel there is a lot that needs to be offloaded and unboxed out of this topic. From me and each and every one who has been part of this broadcast, and our director Iman Onkunika, we say thank you, good night, God bless, and see you next week for another exciting program of Pansaka. Thank you and God bless.